Amy.
Hey, Jack.
I'm gay.
Oh my God, that is so funny. I'm also gay. I was going to tell you.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
And you're listening to Dating Straight.
Rebecca Black.
Hello. Oh, damn it.
Not the same.
Not the same.
Not the same.
I was trying to get like a old Grim Reaper version of me being back on the show again.
Yeah.
It's me.
Surprise. Wait, what is that from? Oh, that's from Scream Queens.
American Horror Story fact check.
We're so happy to have you back on the show.
So happy to be back.
Our third Dating Straight host.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was like, this is way more than 3 times. that
This is
I've been on the
5.
podcast.
Yeah.
5. Wow. Woo!
Big number 5. After
Golden
this,
rings.
you graduate from one hand to 2 hands. How does it feel?
Oh, I can't wait to start finally getting to use it. My second hand.
Every episode that you're on is a blast. I'm so excited. It's always a blast.
And they always say, bring Rebecca back.
Mm-hmm. And
Always.
we do.
Yes.
Rebecca Black, more like Rebecca Back.
Yes.
I'm coming back on your podcast.
Wow.
Ooh. Well, I feel like we're
Remix.
hyping this up so much that we're just going to end up disappointing everybody. So.
Oh my God.
With that attitude,
Brenda,
maybe.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
I had a moment.
Oh my God, your inner saboteur just jumped out.
I'm so happy to be back. I fucking love this podcast, and so much has happened.
So much has happened.
We
happened.
were fresh off of the Joe Biden election when I was on here last, I believe.
Oh, wait. The last time you were on, was that when you came out of the closet?
No,
and
No.
that was
This
the
was
one
4
Okay.
months
before.
ago.
Yeah.
Revealing your
Oh.
abnormal
Yes.
secrets with Rebecca
Yes.
Black.
I also went through this in my life as well.
Okay.
But then Rebecca
before
came
coming.
out a year ago.
Oh my God, that was in person. Oh,
Uh-uh.
no.
It
That
was not.
on
I
over
came
Zoom.
out in the comfort of my own home.
Yeah.
In the comfort of my own room in my mom's house.
Yeah.
Just as it
But-
should be.
Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me again. What the fuck are we going to talk about now?
I know what. You have a song that has just come out maybe a couple weeks ago
Mm-hmm.
when this comes out called Personal.
Yes.
And I want to know what is in this box.
So a little bit of backstory. I gave Amy this box. It's a small box. It's a polka dotted cardboard box. And I came out with a song called Personal. And I wanted to do something that would be special and bizarre and deranged and
Well, what's
mean a
this-
lot to everybody.
What's the song about? Tell
The
us about that.
song it's about basically the like hook of the song is, I know that you have to hate me. I won't blame you if you're upset with me for what I did to you, but I won't let it hurt me. I won't take it personal. Or even though it hurts, I won't take it personal. It's about basically at the end of one of my last breakups, dealing with being the person for the first time who was breaking somebody else's heart. And I'm someone who really, because of my past, because of who I am, I can't stand when people are mad at me. It's not even that I need them to like me. I just hate when people are upset with me. It really freaks me out. And in this moment in my life which was about a year ago, like exactly that I was going through this and that I wrote the song, I was trying to learn to be okay with that and learn to be okay with the fact that sometimes you have to let somebody go and you have to be okay with being the person who who did them wrong. Because that was totally me in this relationship.
Like, maybe I'm the monster a little bit.
What if I am the monster?
It's something to
We're
consider.
all the
so
monster
true, though.
to someone.
So true. Yeah. I mean,
All someone's
exactly.
monster.
And I had always thought that being the person who was the dumpy was the hardest part of a breakup, because that's all I had been before, was I had been dumped and been like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And you wronged me. And that is really difficult. But at the same time, you get to kind of cut to the chase of like being empowered by how much you feel like a woman scorned, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yes.
when you have to deal with the fact that in this situation, particularly, I mean, I don't want to like spill too much for the respect of the other person, but it wouldn't have ended if I didn't end it. And And to know that I could just fix it, quote unquote, by like pretending like everything was okay and that I loved this person, even though I really in my heart didn't. That was really hard to grapple with. And there's a lot of guilt and a lot of shame. And so that song is about that. Cut back to the boxes.
I think being the dumper is way harder than
Definitely.
being the
way
dumpy.
more difficult.
Definitely.
Because
Yeah.
then dumpy, it's like hands off.
Exactly.
You know, you're
you
just
get
like
to
doing your
channel your
thing.
energy into like finding yourself and
Yeah.
and again, like I think there is something to feeling kind of upset with the person
Mhm.
that allows you to be you know, empowered.
Well, it's part of the stages.
When you're the dumper, you go through that part of in your head where you're
Then
like,
you're mad
what's
at
wrong
yourself.
with me?
Yeah. Totally.
Exactly.
Totally.
Exactly. And I wanted it to work. I wanted to make it work with this person. And I did have a lot of love for this person, but it just wasn't going to. And having to like deal with your own kind of mirror of yourself when you're like, oh, I didn't even know I had the capability to like be that hurtful to somebody, even though I'm trying to do this in the best way.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to hurt
hard.
people to just like live your own life.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
also there's a huge difference between like loving someone and being in love with someone. You know?
Absolutely. Which all comes into it.
Yeah.
So the song is basically about like learning how to deal with that shame and learning how to feel empowered about it. And for the video, I worked with this director. His name's Weston Allen. He's who directed the Friday remix video, which is another just like acid trip in itself.
Yeah.
so awesome.
Iconic.
And I've just loved working with him for all of my visuals and just a lot of creative direction for this project. And when him and I were coming up with the concept for the video, we thought it would be fun to spin the creative into taking everything that I'm saying and making it, I guess ironic would be the right word for it. Like, even though I'm saying all these things, I won't take it personally. I am actually taking it personally.
Uh-huh.
So in the video, I am wielding this chainsaw. I'm basically like stalking myself in my own head. I hesitate to say too much about it because I want people to take it for what it is. But
And open the box and
Cue
be
the box.
surprised.
What's in
and
the box?
this chainsaw was a really like massive part of this video concept, and I just fell in love with it. We completely bedazzled a chainsaw and I wheeled it around.
That's really cool.
And I wanted to lean into, I'm just having a lot of fun playing with like darker and like more horrific type visuals. So yeah, I thought it would be really fun to kind of give a piece of myself to
Oh my God.
the people I really care about and to certain press
Don't it.
outlets and
I
everything.
feel like it's going to be something
Um,
of Rebecca's that's like a little Rebecca voodoo doll. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It
really
is a
deranged.
severed
It is a
finger.
severed finger. But if you read
I
the
got a
note
thumb.
that I wrote you so
Do we
kindly,
all get thumbs or is it different fingers?
well, we did make sure that every fifth, there were 25 that we sent out, and every fifth has my tattoo to match, obviously, my
That's really funny.
my tattoo. That's, I go off.
Hey,
go off.
bestie. Hope you enjoy this little piece of me as much as I enjoyed making this personal video for you.
The writing is almost illegible.
Yeah, that's my handwriting. I don't know what you're talking
Live,
about.
laugh, love, Rebecca Black. P.S. Unwrap me.
Yeah,
Unwrap the
this.
finger?
unwrap the finger.
Oh, okay. It's a USB drive
It's a USB
with
drive.
the song.
Well, I made
With
a
the video.
video for you.
What?
Yeah.
Wait,
my
plug it in.
God. That's so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, and a little, I mean, I don't know if I want to give this away, but I guess I'm going to, is if you go onto there's a little secret encryption of the next song as well.
Oh my God, can we leak it?
This is so
Maybe.
so funny.
Anyways, so
Thank you so much for this beautiful gift.
thank you for accepting
A
it.
little piece of you. Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're really,
That's really
they're really
funny.
upsetting to look at, I know.
I love it. I really want to eat it for some reason. I don't know why.
Did you
Don't.
paint these
Well,
nails?
I bite
Yeah,
my
I'm wearing
nails.
it's my fingers. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
That is so funny.
You know, I bite my nails so much, so it just like
Just
I
wants to
really
bite
want
it.
to. Yeah.
Well,
It's a
go for it.
icky.
It
Yeah,
is
it's-
a
Look at that.
it's a chode.
A big thumb.
It's a chode. Well, I mean, there are only so many thumb drives in the world that you have to
my
choose
God.
from.
Drive. I did not get
That
to
is
that.
crazy.
Anyways.
It all adds up.
Thank you for playing along with my little games.
Oh, that was awesome.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
She's an artiste.
Listen to personal. Anyways.
Yes. We'll link it in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much to Relief Band for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. Did you know that 1 in 3 Americans regularly suffer from nausea?
I know at least one of them.
Yeah,
She's right there.
I'm not American, but I suffer.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
We've all experienced the horrible
It's
feeling.
a global phenomenon.
Whether you're in the back of the car, on your phone, on planes, I get it so bad,
Everywhere.
everywhere. We've had one too many on a night out.
Mm-hmm.
Or even just the anxiety of a work day. Nausea can really ruin a day, force you to change our plans, or in the most severe cases, make us unable to function.
True.
But for those of you who can relate, I've got good news. You've got to check out Relief Band.
Yeah, Relief Band is the #1 FDA-cleared anti-nausea wristband that has been clinically proven to quickly relieve and effectively prevent nausea and vomiting associated with motion sickness, anxiety, migraines, hangovers, morning sickness, chemotherapy, and so much more. And the product is 100% drug-free, non-drowsy, and provides all-natural, long-lasting relief with 0 side effects for as long as needed. The technology was originally developed over 20 years ago in hospitals to relieve nausea from patients, but now through Relief Band, it is available to the masses. We are the masses. How it works is Relief Band stimulates a nerve in your wrist that travels to the part of your brain that controls nausea. Very science. Then it blocks the signal your brain is sending to your stomach telling you that you're sick. And if you know someone who deals with nausea, Relief Band makes a great gift.
It is like magic. I have no idea how it works. But you put that thing on and then it like buzzes on, like
Your wrist.
a part of your nervous system that goes to your brain, something. But it actually totally works, and it's way better than like taking a pill in the middle of the day and getting really sleepy.
So true. So as the world is opening back up, don't let fear of nausea keep you on the sidelines. Right now, Relief Band has an exclusive offer just for Dating Straight listeners. If you go to reliefband.com and use promo code DATING, you'll receive 20% off plus free shipping and a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee. So head to reliefband.com and use promo code DATING for 20% off plus free shipping.
Thanks, Relief Band. Thank you also to BetterHelp. We love therapy, especially online therapy, because, we're all at home now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? Yes.
Everyone harmonize. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Mine was definitely like the staying home for the whole year. That was pretty tough. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours, which is amazing. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online. There's a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available in many areas. And the service is available for clients worldwide.
Yeah, and you can log into your account anytime and send a message to your counselor. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions, so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room, as with traditional therapy. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free of charge to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to start living happier today. Visit betterhelp.com/dating. That's BetterHelp, and join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. And in fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. So there's someone for you. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Dating Straight listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/dating.
Thanks, BetterHelp. I want to talk about how you've evolved in this past year, personally and definitely
wink,
professionally. Yeah, little nod. Definitely professionally, I feel like your vibe is much more like
Scary.
alt. Yeah. But I absolutely live for it.
Thank you. I'm definitely going through my scene phase, like in my own way that I never had. I mean, I had a year. It's so weird also. I feel like the last few times I've been on here, we've had such like specific things to talk about. I haven't talked about myself. So this feels crazy. But the last year for me, I made a lot of really significant changes and just the people that I had around me, and the people especially that were involved in some of the like creative and business choices I made. And those were, I think, like just time to make change. And as we all were, I spent a lot of time by myself, learning to really tune into what I was actually thinking about the world and myself, and how, if I could do anything my way, like how would I actually really want to do it? And that was always just something I was really afraid to like actually latch onto. I think it can feel easy, like in the pop world, to feel like, oh, I just want them to like what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that never served me. Like I'm really proud of so much of what I've created in the past, but I was always really struggling to like really hone into what I wanted to do. And this past year was really beneficial for me in that. And like coming out as queer was a huge part of it, because I finally, after coming out on this podcast, I felt like I finally had this community that was rooting for me and that saw me for who I was and wanted me to succeed. And that was something that I never really felt like I had. So it just gave me a lot more confidence. And yeah.
I feel like you feel, I don't know, everything that you've created, I think, since you have been out and since you've been more like alt, I am
like
like
authentic.
So, yeah, it's so much more authentic, and I love it. Like it is, I don't know. To me, it's everything.
Yeah, Jack was texting me about the Friday remix. He was like fully gagged.
With it.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I mean, in all of that, I was talking to Weston about this the other day, and how like before the Friday remix, he was really like, not really, but he had a feeling of like, this could be so the wrong thing. Like people could not understand this and really hate it. And he and I had never really talked about that beforehand. But yeah, I don't know. I've learned not to, I've always been afraid of that myself, but I learned not to care just through like personally loving what I was doing so much, like really believing in and being excited by what I was doing so much. I remember the first time I saw the Friday video, I like, was this close to shitting my pants. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And it gives me so much joy to watch this. But yeah, I appreciate what you guys are. I appreciate that you like the music, and it's awesome to see everybody else like it too. And yeah, I don't know if this is my like actually alt phase or what, but I'm just having a lot of fun and like a lot of freedom to do and say whatever I want to. And like in my art and in the music I'm making, I feel like the people I'm working with give me so much freedom. And like when I tell them that I am going to be sending like Paper Magazine a severed finger, that is the USB version of it, and like influencers and all that stuff, they're like, great, love that. And that's really freeing, because that's a hard thing to find in music, because people just care so much about something working that I think they can sometimes like sabotage just something that's different.
Totally. I think like the energy that I'm getting from your new music is the same energy that I get from like, even though Charli XCX isn't a like she does have a label, but she still feels, there's something that feels like it's like the label is so
hands off
that it's like completely her product. And that's how I feel about
creative.
your, it's like the creative feels like your creation and not like a production of like anyone else's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
Thank you. It's been a journey, and like I wish that imposter syndrome would just like leave my body. I wish that like insecurity and all of that would leave my body, but it's a struggle. But I really do feel honestly like I have this community that is kind of just always down to see what I'm up to, and like whether they even will get it or not. Like it makes me so happy to see certain things, like with the Friday Remix video, someone was like, "Oh, we lost another star to drugs." And I was like, well, thank you. Or a child star, I think is what they said.
That's really funny.
And I was like, I mean, I wish I was like that edgy, but then again, I don't. But yeah, I'm just trying new things and like really enjoying what I'm doing. And yeah.
For sure.
And winning.
I feel like
Thanks.
even if you are having these insecurities before, if you would have like honored those and like listened to them more, I feel like now it's like that doesn't matter. That's not real. And then you do what your creative self wanted you to do anyway.
Yeah, I definitely I think I've just learned that like those insecurities, one, they're going to be there probably for a while in some sort. And also everybody has them. That I feel like I've finally been able to break down. I had so many conversations with like songwriters that I've always looked up to and producers and like other artists too who have shared those same feelings with me. And it just really opened up the fact that like, oh, I'm not like, this isn't so unique what I'm dealing with. And that kind of like took some of the pressure off of it. And it's just all that we can ever do is like try to trust ourselves. And that's what I've really learned to do over the past year is like finally trust myself. And if I have a crazy idea, it might be crazy, but it also at the same time might be good. And what is a good or a bad idea, nobody knows.
For sure.
So as long as you like it, that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
I feel like when you came out and dyed your hair, you just set yourself free. I think that was it.
Shed the skin.
Yeah, like a snake.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're like a snake seductress.
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting when like you and I, Jack, just saw each other for the first time in over a year, a couple days ago. And it's going to be so weird for, I think, all of us now that we're like getting back into some version of normal. Everyone's starting to get vaccinated, to see people who haven't seen us in this year's span of time to become a totally different person.
Totally.
There's that whole like Twitter meme that's like, yes, you can become a different person after a pandemic. I don't know if you saw that. Everyone was like, I would hope so. But yeah, I think it's so fun to see also people like you and that I haven't seen in a year and also see how it's changed them. And I think hopefully there was a silver lining in everything we've been through.
Oh, I definitely think so.
For sure.
I think all of us are completely different probably than, or at least more mature or more self-understood. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm confident that our lives after this will be just
much
like more
better.
Interesting.
Hold
Do you know
that
what I mean?
thought. Fast forward to like a year later.
Oh yeah, we like did this already at the start of 2020, being like, "This is gonna be the most
I'm not
amazing
saying that
year."
the world is going to be a utopia,
I agree,
but our lives, our interactions with each other, how we have fun with one another and hang out, I think will be more.
I agree.
Like,
fulfilling.
Fulfilling, exactly.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I can even just in both of you, I've seen so much growth in the two of you and like everyone around me. So it's going to be really, really fun to see and experience.
Yeah, we get to unpack we get to like relearn each other, which is like what a beautiful experience. You know?
Yeah. I've gone like way deeper with my close friends in this past year than like ever before.
Oh my God, yeah.
You just go all the way in.
What? Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
What
Just
are
the
they-
Made a
way
funny
you
face.
blinked right there.
I remember someone said to me kind of during the beginning of the pandemic, and I feel like this has really stayed true through the whole thing, for me at least, is I just remember saying even like in the first couple weeks of the first quarantine and isolation, all of that, and being like, I do feel like some weird sense of peace that's happening. And she said, it's really funny what happens when you get to like cut the peanut gallery out. Like when you're not surrounded by constant other opinions of you and what you're doing, like you actually can learn to find yourself a little bit and listen to what you think. And that is really helpful wherever you're at.
Thank you so much, Best Fiends, for sponsoring this episode of the podcast.
Your closest friends are always there when you need them most. I know mine's right here. Good times, bad times, times in between. they've got you. Like how Best Fiends always has a new puzzle to keep your brain refreshingly challenged. So true. Best Fiends makes it feel like your brain is like transcending to another plane of existence. At least for me, like it's relaxing, but it's also thought provoking.
Yes.
It's the mother I never had. But yeah, seriously, Best Fiends is so awesome. If you like solving fun puzzles, Best Fiends is for you. There's way more variety and strategy than you'll get from smashing candy round after round.
Whoa,
Shade.
that was shade.
It's almost too fun. I've been playing for a while. Like, actually, I've been playing for a while, and I'm telling you, can't stop.
Can't stop.
Won't stop.
No. And no need to stop.
Yeah.
Why
Why should I
stop?
consider?
Yeah. With Best Fiends, there's always something new to play. The adorable collectible characters just keep coming, and it's hard to choose your favorite because they're
So
also
true.
freaking cute.
So true.
Download the 5-star rated puzzle game Best Fiends free today on the Apple App Store and Google Play. That's friends without the R, Best Fiends.
Thanks, Best Fiends.
Thanks, Best Fiends.
And also thank you, Curology.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Curology. For real. I used to think my skin goals were unattainable. I have a few fine lines. I still get, spots. I'm 27. I'm not ashamed of it. And, blackheads and whatever. But thankfully, I found Curology. It's all just like for your skin by dermatology providers.
Yeah, no matter what your skincare concern is, fine lines, dark spots, occasional breakouts, clogged pores, Curology will customize a prescription formula with 3 active ingredients picked just for you to tackle your skincare needs. To get your treatment plan, start by answering questions online about your skin and sending in a couple of selfies to Curology. Next, Curology matches you with a licensed dermatology provider who gets to know your skin. And if it's a good fit, you'll get a customized prescription cream to address your acne, fine lines, dark spots, and more.
Yeah.
So true. I mean, we sent in our pics and they're still sending me my skincare.
Yeah, totally. It was really quick, but also super thorough. I loved having to send in photos because they can see so much better about what we need, and you get to put in your specific goals and stuff.
And I feel like they send more than I never run out.
No,
They
never.
send me and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, they will set you up with a personalized treatment plan and ship your custom formula right to your door. Take control of acne, dark spots, breakouts, and whatever your unique concerns may be with a powerful skincare treatment made for you today. Go to Curology.com/dating for a free 30-day trial. Just pay for shipping and handling. That's CUROLOGY.com/dating to unlock your free 30-day trial.
Thanks, Curology.
Totally. I've been thinking about that a lot, but also I've been thinking about how as the peanut gallery begins to re-enter, trying to hold on to that.
Yeah.
Because I have in the just over the past couple of weeks, even though I've mostly been surrounded by people who I consider friends, there's moments where I'm wait, am I doing something embarrassing?
Sure.
Am I acting weird or whatever? And it's so hard, even after a year of feeling much more freed from that how quickly that response and that way of thinking can come back. And I'm doing everything in my power to get rid of that.
I saw this TikTok that it was she did something, I don't remember what the girl did, but she said it's only embarrassing if you let it be, or it's only embarrassing if you make it embarrassing. So every time I have that thought of ooh, did I just say that weird, or why did I say that, I'm just it's only embarrassing if you let it be.
Oh my God, I feel like I've
embarrassing.
been on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be stop making it weird for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody
Because
else thought it was
no one
weird.
is analyzing you how you analyze you.
No.
Yeah. Well, it's
You know?
the saying of everyone's too busy worrying about themselves. It's
So
so
true.
true.
Literally.
So
But I
Totally
don't want to be busy
embarrassing.
worrying about myself. I want to be
No.
busy worrying about other people.
I
let me
want to
be-
just feel fine.
What about
don't want to
just-
worry?
Yeah,
I'm
no
kidding.
more
I'm
worrying.
kidding.
Yeah.
Only embarrassing if you make it embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You hear that? Kids.
Yeah. It's social media. Social media ruined us. I feel so bad for the kids who actually are growing up in social media. Because I had MSN Messenger in middle school or
Mhm.
whatever. I didn't have Instagram until
right.
high school. But even when I had it then, it was nothing like it is now with the baddies and
yeah.
the Facetune and whatever.
Yeah.
So that can just really
Like,
Definitely.
when are we going to give our kids iPads? You know, like what age?
I was talking about this recently with someone
Me too.
who they were like, I am not giving them anything.
Smart.
No,
That's
not smart. Not smart.
That
I don't
isolates
know
them
how
from
I
all their
feel.
friends.
Mhm.
Well, true. But I do wonder, I mean, I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to do it, right? Like everyone is still figuring it out. And also, what will the internet look like by the time we have kids? Will we even be able to have kids at that point? Like, will the climate we live
Right.
in physically
Will it be
actually
ethically sound
Yeah,
to have
that's
kids?
another
Yeah.
It's not
conversation?
ethically sound to have kids now, right?
Like,
I mean, probably very
not.
true. Yeah, it's there's so many questions about like kids and that whole like the moral, ethical thing about it that I have been thinking about so much more. But yeah, I don't know what the right way is. I mean,
Why do you think you have to give your kids iPads?
I'm not okay.
Pro
Jack
you,
is
you were
sponsored
gonna
by
say
iPad.
what you thought, right? About that,
I'll say. Well, I'll
and then
say
I'll come
what
back. to-
what my friend was talking about, and they were just talking about letting them learn to have balance, and at least like I think personally what I feel about it is it's a tricky balance because it's kind of like the whole teaching your kids how to balance like the introduction of drugs and alcohol. Like it's gonna happen at some point.
Mhm,
And what I feel like my mom did really, really well for me is she kind of took the power out of it. So she introduced it and said, like, if you start drinking, tell me. Please tell
Mhm.
me.
Yeah.
And so I did. Like,
Mhm.
I got drunk and I was like, Mom, I did it. And I still got really afraid of it. And she was very, she was really, what's the word? I guess like poignant about the dangers of like overdoing it and especially with drugs and all of that. But she would let me have like a sip of wine if I wanted it when I was younger, or she would just tell me to try it just as a sip or whatever. She didn't make it this like big, bad, scary thing, but at the same time, she taught me really about the dangers. So by the time I drank, I definitely had a moment, but I didn't feel the need to like really, really seek it out
Mhm.
because of that. So I think there's
You
probably
didn't
some
need to
sort
like
of a balance.
rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like exactly.
My mom was the
that is
opposite of that.
like forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
you can get it, then you go crazy. I was in a class actually this past semester, and we were talking about this. And this one girl was like, I'm never going to let my kid have one until they're like 16 or something. And like my teacher, not that, my teacher knows all or anything, but like he was like, yeah, if you don't teach them how to have healthy boundaries with social media, they won't. And once they get on social media, they will not have learned how to navigate that within themselves at a young age. Whereas if you can help guide them through all of that, then that will lead to like a better like conversation about it, a better like, if you are on it with them, you say like, you can teach them what's real and what's fake, like, oh, this is not all of this, like Facetune is not real or whatever.
Yeah.
And like really help them through that because they're going to learn that at some point. And he was telling us about his friend who had a child who they did not give an iPad until she was in high school or a phone. And she had like no friends and she was like completely miserable.
Oh no.
Yeah, because you have to remember like
that's a
social
lot of
media is
socializing.
a social
Yeah.
platform.
Yeah.
You have to be able to be available. And that's that. So like you
That
have
makes a lot
to,
of sense.
yeah. And especially if they want it, if they want to be on it and you say no, then that turns you into the villain as well.
Right.
So you've gotta, I think,
have like an open
introduce them.
dialogue.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I hope to do as a parent mainly.
My mom used to just be like, you can't drink until you're in Australia, it's 18. But everyone starts drinking when they're like super young. But she was like, you can't have like a single drink of alcohol until you're 18. Like, absolutely not, blah, blah, blah. Just made me a liar. Just made me a really good liar. I would just lie.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I think with my mom, like that made me less of that.
Yeah,
Is I
for
didn't
sure.
feel the need to lie. Like
Yeah.
Totally.
I remember
gave me no option but to lie.
Yeah, because as kids, like, you're trying to find independence. Like, it's that weird, as teenagers, at least especially, like, you're trying to grow into your own person. And I definitely had my own struggle with that as well. Like, I freaking booked it out the house when I was 18. I was like, moving to LA. But at least with something that can be, you know, like really debilitating, like alcohol and all of that, I had, I think, a little bit of an easier time with it because I felt like I could talk to my mom about it more than anything. And like, I think that that's kind of all we can do as parents is really learn to listen to our kids. And I want to feel like I know what's going on. Like, I'm not going to understand what it is, but I'm going to try.
Right.
Yeah.
I think another thing is also like, you want to treat your children like adults almost at a certain age.
Yeah.
And like if they're, you know, 15 or whatever, and you're not giving them an iPad or a phone or whatever, or even if they're younger than that, they're going to be like, you're treating me like a kid. You're not treating me like a full human who has agency. And ultimately you want your children to have agency because that's the only way that you can learn is by doing shit and making mistakes sometimes. And, but if you don't give them that agency, they're going to lash out, I think, like once they're given it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Big things to think about.
I know. How did we start talking about this?
Don't know.
I also don't know.
I don't know. But it's something definitely that I am talking about a lot. And like growing, I mean, I still feel like an absolute child. And I know that I won't be a person who has kids until much later in life, if at all.
Who do we think's going to have kids fast?
Not me.
Not Jack?
Not me.
Do you have a desire to have kids?
Sure, but I've never even had a boyfriend really. So like,
but then it could all just happen like one after another, you know? Be like,
you never know.
Get
you never
there.
know. It's also, as a queer person, it's a lot more, you know, it's a whole different challenge to have a child.
Right. But as a man, as two men, no one has to get pregnant. Not that with two women, anyone has to carry it or whatever.
Right.
But if you were, then there's a time there's a clock, like the biological clock is more
True.
there
adoption.
for men.
you brought up the clock.
I brought up the clock. Say man. It's 12 o'clock, babes.
It's 12 o'clock.
So it's time to make it happen. I want to talk about your guys' TikTok moment, by the way.
Oh no.
If we may.
By the time this comes out, that was like a month ago.
Yeah, but
it's
people were
timeless.
quite interested. I was surprised.
They were all saying, bring Rebecca on. Where is that girl?
Here I am.
Yes.
Well, what would you like to talk about?
What's the cue?
Okay, so walk us through what the content of each one, and let's just go through each one and talk
like
about
the concepts.
Yeah, and like what
the
inspired them.
creative, yeah.
What's real?
Well,
Is
Amy
everything
and I
real?
had a chaotic day.
I know. It was so fun though.
It was so
I
fun.
felt so free.
Yeah, same. And I don't know what really sparked it.
It felt like the old drunk days.
Yeah.
The good old
chaos.
The good old drunk days.
I think that Amy had just come over to my house, and I know that I've definitely been feeling like now that I'm fully vaccinated, I finally am able to see friends inside. And so it's like a renaissance of, you know, social life.
Drunkenness.
We weren't
even drunk.
completely
We were
sober,
sipping on that
Okay.
LaCroix.
Yeah.
And I don't know whose idea it was, but we're obviously TikTok fans.
Because I was wearing your outfit.
We were in matching
Girlfriend.
outfits.
So I said, let's make talks, girl.
Yes.
And then it escalated so quick.
Oh, yes. I brought up the vagina.
Yeah, you
Really
sure
quick.
did. I started
So
off
let's
like
recap.
pretty.
What's the vagina?
I-
Let's just say it
Amy's
for what it
vagina.
is.
Hey, hold on. I started chill. I thought because you
did.
released
You did.
Girlfriend, so I
it was
said.
uncalled for what I did. But
Well, you were doing the trend.
I said passing the phone to someone who wrote a song about getting back with their girlfriend, and then like very quickly broke up with that girlfriend.
Mhm.
And then Rebecca just like took that and ran. She said, "Oh yeah, I'm coming for you."
I'm coming for your vagina.
Yeah.
Like literally.
And she lied. Like 2 times
No, I
in that
didn't.
TikTok, which
No,
is just,
I didn't.
it's crazy. It's a crazy thing to experience when your friend just like lies to your face like that.
Right. And lies to like hundreds of thousands
and
of
lies
people.
to the masses. Like it's just false information. Like I could sue this girl for slander.
Uh-huh.
Oh, please. Bring out the tape.
I think
So the
we have
lie
witnesses.
was
So yeah,
the lie
let's
was-
get to the bottom of
Witnesses.
this.
Let's save it. Let's say it.
Let me just
Are we
start.
self-bleeping though?
Let me just start by saying I'll keep it appropriate.
Okay.
Why?
Good question. Let me just for the dignity of my own self.
Our sponsors.
I mean, sure,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Who are the sponsors today? Let's figure that out. But I will just start by saying, when Amy and I made a video a few months ago where we talk about how we met, we basically say and reveal that when we met and became friends, we were friends with benefits.
Totally. It's all true.
Do with that what you will.
Mm-hmm.
And
Can confirm.
Yes.
And it was a great time. We did what we did. But at that point in my queer journey, I was a baby gay. I was coming into my own. I was also like kind of around town a little bit. Like I was kind of dipping my toe where I may. And I had, in those first few months of hooking up and being with women and queer people, had realized, oh, when someone finds out that you are like recently, gay or a new gay or are inexperienced when it comes to women, they will not let you perform certain acts out of fear that you will not know how to do it. That was at least a conclusion that I came to due to the evidence that was given to me by hooking up with several different, more experienced lesbian women. One of those being Amy.
Okay. So the verdict was you would not receive. You would only give.
She didn't try.
That is the lie.
No.
Like as a baby gay,
remember.
were you confident enough to try?
That's
I mean,
good
I'm
question.
in my defense.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have to defend yourself? Uh-oh.
Well,
Ooh.
because she is already accusing me of being a liar. I remember the first time that I hooked up with a cisgendered woman. I did try because
Not me.
it was not this
the
was
way.
not Amy.
Yeah.
I did try and I felt very confident in it because it was my first time hooking up with a cis woman, but not with a queer person. So it's not like I haven't. And like, listen, I love to give. I'm a giver.
Okay, Mrs. Claus.
And so I really did try. And I just remember very, very clearly it not happening. So that was the first time, it not being allowed, basically, it not being wanted.
Mhm.
And that really killing my ego in the moment, but being okay with it. And I just remember it happening in almost every person who I hooked up with more than once, that happening with. And I just remember it happening with Amy. Then again, there were like several occasions of us being friends with benefits. So not every time. But anyways, that's my truth.
That's your side of the story. At a rebuttal.
We just disagree. Humans, different perceptions of what happened.
Mhm.
I remember specifically like making a joke with you there.
But
at
when was this
Cole.
joke?
It was at Cole. We were talking about
don't remember
something.
this joke.
I remember. I'm trying to remember like who were the witnesses.
Could have been we all
Could've
looked
been a
the same
lot.
at the time.
Yeah.
So
Could've
it
been a
could have been
lot.
anyone.
Yeah.
I will
should get, like,
say
a Alexis
and what
on
was
the
the joke?
line.
Like Pillow Princess?
Yes, it was something
Okay.
along those lines.
Raise your hand if you're or like Pillow Princess in the room, and we all point to something like that.
so bullying.
Like shout out to the
Yeah,
Pillow
bullying.
Princess.
Well, I will say, if that is how it came across, one Amy, I apologize.
No,
Maybe I should have tried harder.
no. Hey, you're all good.
Anyways,
Don't worry about it.
so anyways, there's no like actual tea in this
No.
situation.
No,
We're
but-
just trying to
We're just-
detective
Yeah.
what the truth was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Amy and I were feeling chaotic, and I was feeling particularly chaotic in that moment. And it had just dawned on me as like, well, this bitch just shamed me. How am I going to shame her back?
Right.
I mean, it was the challenge. Like that was
Yeah.
literally
Right. No,
and
you
we have
got
so
her
much.
good.
We had
you
so
got
much.
her good.
I felt like I got her good, whether or not she agrees. But it's okay.
It was fun. And then
It was fun.
We made another 2.
Yes.
Also, so iconic. It was just so good.
It was all
I
very
loved it.
personal, very personal,
Yeah.
personal, stream personal on iTunes and everywhere. But it was all very like much in our past fling. We have a lot of shared
Right.
people in our circle.
And why should that be forbidden fruit? You know, why? What good does it do to be secret?
True.
You
Yeah.
know?
True. To forbidden fruit to our audience?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
know?
I mean, that's kind of what dawned on me that day. Is like, do I really care? No.
No.
And it was so long ago as well.
True.
That it's just like so
True.
over.
True.
That it's like so fun to joke about.
True.
Mhm.
I do hope that we didn't cross any boundaries with anybody else.
Who's
You
to say?
Have you gotten any feedback?
I mean,
Because you exposed that you had both hooked up with the same person and then they didn't choose you. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah. But I mean, I spoke to her about it and I was like, get us back. Because she can.
Yeah,
She
totally
can
could.
fucking get us.
Totally.
And she didn't. I think she's like too sweet and
Oh.
humble, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
She could get us though.
she's got time whenever she wants.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting.
Ball's in her court now.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Lovely.
But no other feedback other than that.
Have you gotten on TikTok at all, Jack?
Have I gotten on?
Yeah.
It's my full-time job now, actually.
Jack
to-
has
TikTok.
a viral TikTok.
Really?
No, like for a brand, I run their TikTok now.
Well, that is true. And is the viral TikTok on that TikTok?
It is. Yes.
So they
I
love
gotta,
it.
I gotta
So-
check it out.
It was nothing as chaotic as that, I will admit. But yeah, no, I'm not like personally on TikTok.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think I've reached the point where I'm like separating church and state, you know, but like different, like separating personal and
And work.
online a little bit more.
I was going to ask, what is that like to kind of like have to learn? So, I mean, I guess it's just like any task for a job, maybe, but what is it like to kind of be able to make something that has nothing to do with yourself? Because you have been an
Oh, yeah.
influencer. You have this, obviously.
It's so iconic, you guys.
Okay.
It's so legendary to
What,
post something
in what
and
way?
like and not have everything be about like, oh, you look like this, or oh,
Yeah.
you're annoying, or like whatever. Like
Like not
or
an
even like you're
emotional state.
awesome. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, it's like I put out a video and then like the comments are like, thanks for this tutorial. You know, like which is like so legendary. And like when good things happen, you like share the reward with like the people you're working with. And when something doesn't do so well, you share the blame. So it's not like all on you. It's like, you know, like when your personality is not on trial online, it is so much easier to like make content quickly and consistently.
Totally.
Wow. It takes like the emotional out of it.
Totally.
Yeah.
I don't look at the analytics because like that's my boss's job to
Either
tell
way
me
you
like
get
if
paid.
anything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so much more like resonant to how just a traditional company would work. And it like, as just hearing you say that, it makes me think like, no wonder all influencers are
Mentally
fucking
ill.
ill. Yeah.
Yes.
It's because it is really, I mean, not excusing people for like the really terrible things that they've done recently, but we are seeing like an epidemic of influencers having a downfall, it feels
Mhm.
like. And obviously every influencer like talks about their struggles and everything, but it is really bizarre to have so much of you and who you are become just so like commodified, right?
Yeah.
And have to deal with that all by yourself and be that it's fucking hard.
It's
I
fucking
bet.
hard.
You've been doing
And-
it for a long time too. Like 10 years.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, go
Too
you.
long.
Too long.
no,
Yeah.
I'm just getting started.
How's your TikTok going? Because I feel like your TikTok, you started it in the panty.
In the panties, yes.
Yeah, panties.
I did start it in the panoramic. I'm having fun with it. I really did get into TikTok over the pandemic as everybody else did. And like it just became such a I have definitely struggled with a lot of the, you know, comparison issues and self-worth drama. It's more than drama, but like just all of the insecurity that comes with being a person with a social media account. And I think I've struggled with it more than I like to admit over the years, especially being like what has happened with Friday and how that kind of affected my life. And And I had really struggled with certain platforms that I just felt like I had been on for so long and like had changed so much myself that it was hard to kind of refine myself. So TikTok was just a really nice opportunity to like start with where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And I didn't have all these like preconceived ideas of what I was supposed to do. And I just also feel like, and I'm sure that this exists on places like Instagram or any other platform, but I felt like I was finally able to find communities that I really found interesting and that I really cared about, and that there were people that really gave a shit about my content. Like, I think it's really, we're all struggling with feeling like there is someone that is more important. And so why take the time to, say these things? And I really felt that like irrelevance, I guess, like throughout the years. And I took all the pressure off with TikTok, and it's just so much more fun. And I've always felt like that weird like balance of church and state, like you were saying. But with TikTok, I have allowed myself to so be myself that I finally feel like I'm not performing so much in that way. Like I like to perform on stage when I've gotten ready for 2 hours and I have rehearsed and I am performing music and all of that. But I don't like to feel like I'm doing it online as myself. Like that is just so unnatural. So TikTok, it is like 80% me shit posting, and I feel really comfortable that way. Twitter has become that for me as well. Like I just kind of say whatever I think is dumb and let it out. And that way it's out of my system. But it's a fun place.
Especially on TikTok, like other platforms like YouTube or Instagram, I've also been feeling this way. It's like you've gathered those followers over the years. So maybe they were interested in something that I posted in like 2015. Not like they've changed in a different direction than I have till now. But TikTok, like it's just it takes the pressure off of like trying to please these people that you like used to know that you don't really know anymore. Like
Totally.
Yeah. And so it's just like takes all the pressure off. You're just like straight up being yourself, and then they're subscribing to that.
Yeah. You get to meet people like you would if you were meeting them now, rather than like being, I don't want to say it in like a weird way, but being around a group of people that you've outgrown each other.
Yeah, for sure.
You leave your baggage at the zoo.
Yeah. Totally.
At the zone.
I was leaving my baggage at the zoo. And I don't know, I think that's probably what it is.
How have you been feeling with like this year of social media? I mean, I don't want to force you.
No. I'll talk about it.
You've taken a break.
I've taken a break.
You've taken a
like,
break.
A serious break. I know.
Pedal to the metal break.
Yeah. I haven't posted in 6 months.
Wow.
Which is, I really realized that this morning when I was looking at it, because
and now you're here. You really care about us.
I love you guys.
Rebecca's a really good friend.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that. No, I'm kidding. No,
it is true though.
I love to spend time with you guys.
Oh.
Anyways.
Love you.
Yeah.
We filmed today.
For the first time. It was 85 degrees outside, so we had the air on.
Big mistake.
Big, huge. But we really couldn't have. Like I would have really had to leave.
Yeah.
It would have been just sweat city, and then like we would have been judging our sweaty selves.
Totally.
You know what I mean? It's just not fair. So we filmed, hopefully it's out already. That would be fucking dope. We filmed like my ex-crushes break down why they didn't like me back. So part 1, act 1, I filmed with Rebecca today that we're gonna have to refilm. So this is gonna be my big comeback.
Cool.
Hey, that's awesome.
I really did like pandemic and filming videos for me just did not work together, because I've never been the type of person who can just film by myself. I really thrive in group settings, and I love like bouncing off of my friends. I'm not a commentary YouTuber. Like I've never, I can't do that, and I can't expect myself to do that. I was like, at the beginning of the panty, I was like, why? Like no one cares about like just me. Like I can't believe I can't just like do this. Like this is my job to stay home anyway. So like, why can't I just figure it out?
Oh yeah.
But I just make a different kind of video, and that's totally fine too.
Yeah.
So I was kind of forced to take this, year-long break. I posted a little bit in the summer when things started lifting randomly in the summer before they got really, really bad again. And then, so I was doing that a little, and that was fun. But, they tell you all these things about YouTube of if you don't post, if you're not consistent, then your channel's going to die and all this stuff. But what I noticed from when I was posting at the beginning of the panty when I was by myself, versus when I took that initial 4-month break and came back, so many more people were so much more invested in that. So I guess it must be different for different people.
Well, I think the thing that, everyone can agree with is you can usually see is if you care about your content,
100%.
other people care about your content.
100%. I didn't feel connected to the videos that I was making by myself as when I'm so excited about a video. I was so excited about our How We Met video. I was this is an amazing video. And then that also takes away the pressure of caring about if other people like it.
If
you
well.
really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that just takes that away. And then if people like it, that's great too.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I really like it.
There's also so many industries that stopped during the pandemic, but for some reason, social media and YouTube and all of that, everyone was now's the time. I think just creative jobs in general was now's the time where I have time to do all this stuff. But in reality, it was not a time of great
celebration and
yeah.
joy.
Or and so why if the whole world stops, why should we have to
Yeah.
Sure.
keep
Especially
going?
because you're not getting those stimulations of creativity. I wasn't hanging out with people or trying new things or anything. I was pretty much in the four walls of my apartment by myself for the most part. So it's really hard to be creative under those circumstances anyway.
Like you said, everyone works differently. I
Totally.
feel I really heard that across the board in music, where there were I did so many Zoom sessions this year, and a lot of people did, and obviously spent. I'd never heard of Zoom this time last year, or a little over that, but I met so many people who were oh, I cannot stand this way of being. I love to be around people, blah, blah, blah. And then I met people who were I am fucking thriving right now. And I was that is awesome for you. And some people went through waves. I definitely went through waves. And so, yeah, I think we all as people who create in whatever way or the other felt or even heard that exact pressure at the beginning of the pandemic, being now's your time and don't waste it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know I definitely heard that. But that just ain't the way it works.
No.
And we've got to treat people like humans who are going through a traumatic period,
Yes.
maybe first.
Totally.
So yeah, I'm excited for you though. And
Yeah.
you have grown. I'm excited to see the way that you make content and just obviously you being you and whatever you're going to do, because you've grown so much over the past year, and seeing how that translates into the way that either we do this podcast or that you make content, I think will be really, it'll lend itself to new exciting things and whatever you create. So
Thanks, Reba.
of course.
I'm really excited about the videos because for a while I just had no ideas. I was well, how am I going to make a video if I don't have a single thought in my brain other than just I don't know, nothing.
Cry.
Yeah, cry, cat,
Totally.
But now that pretty much all of my friends are vaccinated, not even pretty much all of my friends are vaccinated at this point. So I've been doing more, seeing more people, and that's just already giving me so many ideas. I also think so much about this tat, which is a slingshot tat, which is the first time I was very, very depressed. I got this tattoo. Well, it was after I was very depressed because I don't know, anything that pulls you back just propels you forward. It's death and rebirth and all of that stuff. So I'm thinking a lot about that. So hopefully I'm just going to level up. I think everyone's
I think
pretty
you've
much-
definitely. 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Well, and you've
Level up.
recently found some bit of love, which is also a big part
so
of that.
true.
You've been talking about that on the pod.
Yes.
Mhm.
What do you think about her?
I think she's so sweet. I finally got to meet her.
Yes. They
Which-
both
Same.
did.
When did you
I-
hadn't met her at all?
I hadn't met her till Saturday.
Saturday.
The Jake Paul fight.
Oh.
Oh, just kidding.
Terrible.
Well, kind of. We watched the
We
Jake
watched
Paul
Yes.
it.
fight.
Okay. So
Not
we
there.
both recently met her, and she is so lovely. I've like heard so much about her over the past few months because this has been kind of an ongoing, a morphing relationship, and
Mhm.
it's been so cool to, again, like I feel like I'm being redundant, but just to watch you over the past like year and a half really evolve and level up and see you go from the place you were, back in the past to all the way through. I think there's just it's so cool to watch somebody like unveil new layers of themselves and be, like take things that they have done and learned from them and become, new in that way. And so
Mhm.
I think that it makes so much sense, like why you've got the person that you have right now. And she's so lovely.
Right.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's true. It's like to
Yeah.
watch you be excited to share someone who you care about is really
Yeah.
exciting because I feel like for the past a long time in the past you've been like so like
Yeah.
I never want like even when you were in relationships it was like not something that was shared really, you know what I mean? It was often something that was hidden or covered
Yeah.
up, but now it's like something that can be like I don't know, we can all be excited to
Yeah.
I
share
know.
with you.
She's such
you
a
know?
sweetie.
She is. You've had a lot of healing, I think, is like the way that it makes most sense to the outside perspective, my outside perspective. And so it's awesome to see someone like go through that and just like have something lovely in this new refreshing era where I feel like we're all finally feeling a little bit hopeful. And
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that my friends love her.
How did you feel bringing her around your friends for the first time?
Confident. Like she's so cool and pretty. So I feel like an obvious.
It's
Win-win.
an obvious match.
Yeah. I feel
Everyone's
like
gonna be jealous. So like,
everyone's
yeah.
no. I feel like everyone would just like her. I feel like she's
Yeah.
very like easy to get along
Very
with.
easy to joke with, which
Yeah.
is always good
Yeah, totally.
for meeting someone.
I wasn't like concerned, like, oh, well, around Rebecca, what? I don't know, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't not feeling that way at all.
Yeah. Yay.
So yeah.
So sweet. When I first met her, I was like, I felt myself being like, Rebecca, be on your best behavior.
No, really?
Yeah, don't freak her out.
Yeah, don't ruin this. No. But I'm just like really going through this like new social anxiety of like being in a place with other people again.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, don't say something weird that you would like think in your head and think was dumb. But I felt pretty good.
Yeah. No, she likes you both.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
Slay.
Awesome.
Who wouldn't?
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
No, there was no nervousness of like
Yeah.
because she's gonna get along with all my friends.
Yeah. True. Reba, thank you for your finger.
Thank you for having me again.
Go stream Personal out now. It's
Everywhere.
in the link in the bio. Check it out.
Put it in your playlists.
Ooh.
Yeah, put it in your playlist. Tell your friends. Watch the video. If I should make the fingers a merch item,
Yeah.
let me know.
Yes.
Get the girlfriend hoodie. I got really good compliments about it at Whole Foods.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So kind.
Loved by many.
Love that sweater.
Well,
Oh, thanks for listening. I'm Godwin.
I'm Jack Dodge. This is Dating Straight.
See you next Tuesday.
We're broken-hearted lovers.